So if I come in here with a notepad and write down all the information that's on that, that's completely fine.
Somebody would see you do it and would stop you.
Would they stop me?
Yeah.
So you're going to stop people from taking notes on the...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if necessary.
Really? And how are you going to do that?
We could stop them leaving the building and we could call the police.
You could call the police for what? For taking notes?
Yeah.
Really?
Hi guys, it's Big Mad Audits here and welcome to the only auditor who audits the auditors, something like that. And today we're with the Laughing Auditor and he is at Canning Town Job Centre Plus. And it doesn't go all that well. You know, sometimes you give someone a bit of knowledge and they think they're great when they don't know what they're talking about. So let's jump right in. Excuse me.
Hello.
I can't take videos.
Say so. Say so.
Pardon?
Say so.
This is Job Centre policy.
Does it? Okay, policy doesn't succeed the law.
Okay, so absolutely right. Jump straight in there. Now, it is not illegal to film in a public place. This is a public building. It is a job centre. It's paid by you and me, the taxpayer. And, of course, Section 33, 1972 of the Criminal Justice Act says that you can get access to any building that you either pay to enter or is free to enter. Now, I'm going to give a bit of kudos here to the security guard. Absolutely fantastic. He has probably one of the very few security guards. Wasn't rude, was never aggressive. He just said it's their policy. And he is displaying his SIA badge. And he's displaying it correctly. So under the licensing conditions of the Private Security Industry Act 2001, Section C, he is displaying his license correctly. Which is really good because he can avoid a prison sentence by doing that.
Because they have their cameras, they have their own cameras,
Do they?
CCTV.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
So they have their own policy.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I've got the law, so...
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that, but as I said, it's job centre policy. Get a manager to speak to you if you would like.
By all means, I'm not leaving.
No, I'm not saying you've got to leave.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to film, though.
Well, I'll get a manager.
It's a publicly funded building, so... It's a public place. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm not too bad.
Do you have an appointment?
No.
Okay, so can I ask you what you're doing in the job centre?
What does it look like I'm doing?
I have no idea. It looks like you're filming, but
There you go. You got it first time?
I'm afraid you're not welcome if you don't have an appointment.
Okay.
If you'd like to make an appointment and you want to film,
I don't want an appointment.
okay, in that case, can I ask you to leave, please?
You can ask, but I'm going to politely decline, respectfully
What
decline.
grounds?
It's a publicly funded building, so under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, I'm well within my rights to be here.
Okay. You're well within your rights, but you're not welcome to film staff
Okay?
because we have a duty of protection towards the staff.
Okay, well,
Okay, so jumping in again there. The guy from Up, I think he looks like the guy who's come from the Up films, he is basically saying you can't film staff. Then why do you work in a public role? So you work in a public role, dealing with the public in a public building that means you can be recorded. You can't moan about being recorded because you're recorded all around you. When you leave the building, you're recorded by CCTV. When you go into the street, you're recorded by CCTV. When you go into a garage to fill your car up with fuel, you're recorded by CCTV. In fact, there's very little places you go where you're not being filmed by CCTV. And you can have a Freedom of Information Act and request the information and, of course, any footage because you're entitled to it because you're the subject. Now, they're the data handlers under GDPR. They're responsible for all the data in that building. Let's see how he's going to play this one.
you work in the public sector.
Makes no difference. We
Well,
still
it
have
does.
a duty of
If you're
protection.
working in the public sector, working in a public building,
And you're not prepared to make an appointment to see anybody.
I don't need to make an appointment. I'm just here to check out your notice boards and see if there's any interesting
Please
information.
stop yourself.
Okay, thank you. With universal credit, it pays to take up short-term or part-time work. Is it?
Okay, so now he's going to go around the building. Let's just sort of have a quick little scan. Oh, no, and we'll go back to some interactions and see what happens next.
Yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, we missed it a little bit there, so we'll go fast forward. He's having a wander around. We're having a little look. Yes, yeah. Oh, and here we go.
That's strange. So yeah, it goes upstairs as well. But I think that's key card only. I got a job fair.
Okay, so we're going to get some bits more interaction.
So a very different approach here than what we had at Stratford Job Centre. So you don't seem to want to try the whole hands-on approach straight away. Interesting. Get information for your cost of living payments, guys. So cost of living's sky high at the moment. You're the manager here, Andrew.
I am here. Yeah.
Big job centre. Does it go upstairs as well?
Sorry?
Does it go upstairs as well?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
That's nice.
Staircase.
Hi, my darling, I'm so sorry.
Yeah?
You're not allowed to film in here.
Okay, says who?
I do.
Do you?
It's actually policy.
Policy?
Job centre policy,
Oh, is
that's
it?
correct. So we would have to ask you to leave, I'm afraid.
I'm going to respectfully decline because.
Well, we will have to ask you to leave, or I'll have to call the police, I'm afraid.
Okay, well.
But we will not have filming in
Okay,
here.
I come in peace. Okay.
So have I.
Okay, but if you want to call the police, that's your prerogative. Under section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, this is a public building funded by the taxpayer, which makes it a public place, which gives
Why
me
would you want to
absolute.
film?
Pardon?
Why is it that you want to film?
I think the question you should really be asking is why you don't want to be filmed. After all, you are taxpayer
As
funded.
I've already said, it's our policy.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. So policy
So why would
doesn't
you- why would you
policy
want to
doesn't
film?
succeed
Why
the
would you
law.
want to film?
Pardon?
Why would you want to film?
Why would I
Why
want
do
to
you
film?
feel that
So,
you need to have
so
to be
again, I
filmed?
think the question you want to be asking is why don't you want to be filmed? You are publicly funded. You're paid for by the taxpayer. Your wages are paid for by the taxpayer. So
Okay, I'm going to stop here right now. So obviously he's having this dialogue, and while the dialogue is going on, have you noticed that the security guard in the background, he's just been playing with his camera. So you can clearly see the red light on the camera is on, and he's now going to begin an interaction. Quite likely, the Laughing Auditor is perfectly within his rights to audit in this particular building and film. I would always encourage, if this is what you're going to do, try and avoid capturing people's personal data. Remember, they're not really your subject matter. You're actually going in to see how the interaction with staff goes on. So there's a guy in the background obviously having a conversation with one of the job centre staff. But just be a bit sensitive to what they're actually saying, because they're really victims themselves in all of this. And I've been present when people have been spoke to by the job centre and treated not in the most appropriate way, I would say. So if you are going to do this, just be prepared. But pay attention to this security guard, because he's obviously getting ready for an interaction.
why not be accountable to
I'm
the taxpayer?
also a taxpayer.
Of course, as myself, as is everyone in this building, everyone else.
Are you somebody that uses this job centre?
Pardon?
Is that why you're here?
I don't
Have you
answer
got an
personal
appointment?
questions.
Have you got an appointment?
I don't answer personal questions. No, I don't have an appointment.
I'm taking video of you as well. Yeah,
Awesome, excellent. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that.
yeah because we
Well, there we go. First thing in, I'm taking video of you as well. Big credence to this guy. And also, if you look, he's actually displaying his SIA badge. So, you know, you've got to give some real credit here.
are not allowed to do
Is it?
videos here in this
Oh,
office.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Get your ID there. Awesome. Just so I can identify you later. Don't delete that footage. I'll make a freedom of information request and get
What?
that. Don't delete the footage. I'll make an FOI request for that footage as
Yeah,
soon as
that's
I'm
why
on.
I'm recording you.
Yeah.
I asked for your consent.
Okay.
Because it's illegal for you to.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal, is it?
You're not allowed to do that here.
What law is that?
What law?
Yeah, what laws
We
makes it?
have laws everywhere. We have laws.
Oh yeah, I understand
Even
that.
Your house,
Okay.
my house, I have law.
Okay.
Okay, so it's quite clear now he doesn't understand. There's nothing permitting, or not, sorry, there's nothing that's restricting you from filming in a public place. You know, public photography is not a crime, and that's what auditors do. So, guys, you know, film away.
So what law is it that you think I'm breaking, sir?
Yeah.
What law do you think I'm breaking?
We have rules and regulations.
Oh,
here.
no, you
Not
said
allowed
law,
to do.
so it's rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Okay, but law's absolute.
Everybody obey them.
Yeah.
You are not different from other people who come
Is it?
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so
there's
it looks
laws,
like they're being
people, and then he
regrouped.
changes it when I ask him what law it is to rules and regulations. Unfortunately, I don't work for the job centre. I don't work for G4S, so I'm not bound by their rules and regulations.
Okay, so let's move along to the next interaction because we're going to see one in just a second. Oh, I think we just missed one.
It's interesting what happens in these places, these taxpayer-funded places, as soon as they come under a little bit of scrutiny. As soon as a member of the public wants to come and shed a light on exactly what they do and the reactions that you get. From the police, I'll speak to the police when they arrive, that's fine. No problem with that. Where's the other guy gone? Hello! You think they've never seen a camera before? Seen someone filming before? That's strange.
Let's just move a bit further forward because we... Oh, here we go. There's another bit of interaction here. Somebody else.
That could
See
be.
what they've got to say.
One of the reasons why we ask people.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Keep it that side.
No, step back. Don't approach me with that.
That's
You
one of the
have no
reasons.
right to record anyone.
You're in a public
Human
place.
being. You can record
You're in a public
materials.
place. No, you're in a public
Right.
place.
Sorry?
You're in a public place.
But you have.
I can record whatever I see,
You
sir.
can record me.
Oh, well, you're in a public place, so if you don't like it, go away.
That's one of the
If
reasons.
you have to tell anyone,
Go away.
you have to tell
Go
anyone
away.
before
Very strange.
videoing
You
him.
don't want to be filmed, but you come and stand in front
So
of a
keep it
camera.
aside.
No, I'll keep it on you. How about
You
that?
don't keep it on me.
Yeah, well.
Otherwise, I'm going to knock it off.
Oh, will you? That's an assault. So you do.
Okay, so, right. Now, the guy's approach, this guy is actually in breach of the Private Security Industrial Act 2001. There's no badge I saw on display. I may have missed it, guys, so I do apologise about that. And he's now committed what could be considered a common assault. He has made a threat. Now, a threat is a common assault, guys, okay? It's the threat of violence that he's actually done. Common assault actually occurs when the individual purposely inflicts unlawful or reckless force on another individual, causing them harm. But also, the official legal definition of an assault is it requires a conduct which causes the victim to be subject of immediate application of unlawful force. And it's often associated with violent and aggressive physical behaviour, but a fear of apprehension and possible violence may suffice. Okay? That's the common assault laws, and he can spend up to 6 months in prison. And it's contrary to Section 39 of the Criminal Justice Act of 1988. So he needs to be really careful.
Do that. I beg you do.
An assault for you to.
You're threatening to assault me. You're threatening to assault me. Very professional, sir.
Can we just come back to the comment that you made about
Very
documents
professional.
on desks?
Yes, so in a
That's one
public
of the
place,
that's
it's your,
one of the reasons
it's,
why we
no,
ask
no, no,
people
no,
not
it's,
to record.
it's your responsibility to protect that information.
why I'm
Correct.
walking around with you.
So okay.
And that's
so,
why we ask people not to record.
Okay, so question. What's stopping someone coming in here, a member of the public, having a look at that, and then writing something down on a bit of paper?
Because
There you
those
go.
pieces of
There you
paper,
go. It should be protected.
that's my desk.
Okay, it's your desk. Well,
it would
you're
have been protected.
you're
had
potentially
you not
breaching
been
GDPR.
occupying my-
You see how all
had
your
you not been occupying
you see
my
how
time.
you see how all your computer screens are pointed away from members of
Yeah.
the public. That's
Yeah.
why. Okay. So potentially you're in breach of
Stop
GDPR.
people videoing.
Okay, stop people videoing. Okay, so if I come in here with a notepad and write down all the information that's on that, that's completely fine.
Somebody would see you do it and
Would
would
they?
stop you.
Going to stop me?
Yeah.
So you're going to stop people from taking notes on that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if necessary.
Really? And how are you going to do that?
We could stop them leaving the building and we could call the police.
Okay, you cannot hold somebody hostage. You cannot stop someone leaving the building. Okay, that would actually be a crime. And this guy, I mean, come on, guys. Old Mr. Father up here, full of shit, doesn't know what he's talking about. And with a lot of people, when they don't know what they're talking about, they make it up as they go along. I mean, I know I do sometimes.
The police for what? For taking notes? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Are you listening to this, people? This Andrew, one of the managers here at Cannington Job Centre, seems to want to think that he can phone the police for a member of the public want to walk into a public building and take notes. Never mind film.
Take notes of other people's
So this is
personal details.
So this is how these people try and erode your.
Okay, so he's now changing the law. He's not changing the law, changing his opinion, taking notes of other people's personal details. Okay, so I'm going to walk in there. I'm going to stand there with a big pad in front, and I'm going to start scribing. Andrew looks like the bloke from Up. Is taking, doesn't let me know personal notes. He's an oldie guy, looks in his mid-50s to 60s, black glasses, crappy shirt, stinking attitude. Do you know what I mean? That's personal information. So you're going to stop me from taking that, and you're going to phone the police if I have that on a piece of paper. Really?
Rights, ladies and gentlemen, you know. First they tell you cannot film in a public place. Now he's saying that he'll have the police called on you because you've come into a job centre and decided to take some notes.
Notes of other people's
How would you know that?
details.
How would you know that? Yeah, how would you know it's someone else's details? You've left it out for public view. How would you know it's someone else's details?
I'm sorry, you're not going to antagonise me.
Well, you've made a fool of yourself, to be honest. You're threatening to arrest people for coming into a job centre to take notes. Seriously, I thought we lived in a free country. Do we not live in a free country? That is absolutely staggering.
Excuse me, can I use the toilet, please?
That managers at Job Centre Plus seem to think they can have people arrested for taking notes in a job centre. Absolutely ridiculous. I've never heard such dribbling all my life. So just for the record, when it comes to GDPR regulations, it is up to the organisation or company. It is their responsibility to protect the information. If they leave it out in public view for members of the public to see that, they are then technically breaching GDPR regulations. It is not down to that member of the public whether or not they are privy to that information. It's down to the organisation to protect that information. Pardon? You say you're going to forcibly remove me? I'd like to see you try. So he's just walked up to his colleague and said, we'll remove him by force. Is that so?
So once again, it comes under the common assault charge. He's made a threat of aggression, a threat of apprehension, a threat of violence. You know, I know the police won't do anything about it, but this is the letter of the law. Okay, the police will only tend to do things when they consider it right. And it's totally irrelevant what the law is. I want you all to remember this one saying, and I'm going to start using it often. There is a very big difference between law and justice. Okay? To get justice costs money, you know, but the law is open to interpretation and what you're feeling like on the day. Just ask any officer.
Did you call the police? Did you call the police?
Not personally, no.
No, cover any liability, that's fine.
Okay, let's fast forward it through because it's a little bit quiet going on here.
There's the skewed point of view.
I mean, quite clearly that they're sort of standoffish of this guy. They don't know what he's doing. He's filming. He's relatively no harm. They're just sort of standing around. One thing I want to sort of say here is in the background there is children. Okay, this could be perceived to pertaining, imagery of children. Now we know that there's no ill intent towards the children, or I would at least hope so. But if you are going to go out and perform an audit, that can cause some grey areas for your videos. So do make sure that if you capture a child, it is only accidental. Do not focus on the child. It is completely unfair and can cause concern. That could lead to an antisocial behaviour type deal, Section 5, public order, that sort of stuff. So it's better to try and avoid it. Just all these security guards running around. Oh dear, someone here doesn't like to be filmed.
Look at that.
Now it's quite interesting. Oh no! I don't like to be filmed. So what are we talking about, Popeyes? Private information just being displayed. Really? GDPR nightmare coming right up.
All that private information on that letter that lady's holding up to cover her face. I think that'll breach GDPR.
Just slightly. Get it to whiz through because he's not really dealing with people. Oh, let me just have a little
Can't
interaction.
Why are you giving out directives? Who do you think you are?
Go there, sir.
No, I can't. Pardon? I don't need your permission. You're in a public building, you work in the public sector. Don't put your hands on me, mate. I'm telling you now, do not put your hands on me. I've seen you move, don't put your hands on me. I'm not approaching you in that manner. I'm warning you, you are going to.
I did not touch.
Do not put your hands on me, I'm telling you now.
Did not touch.
Things will go very badly for you. It's not a threat. He went to put his hands on me. I'm telling him, if he puts his hands on me, it will go very badly for him. That's an assault.
Did I touch?
You were going to, and then I warned you not to. Okay?
Okay, so I'm going to go over a bit of a subject here. A lot of people say that you have to wait to be hit before you can defend yourself, and that is not the case. If you feel an aggressive action is going to happen against you, you are well entitled to defend yourself, and it's all about the interpretation. So if he put his hands in his face, he would have every right to reach out and punch the guy first. Okay, because the aggressive action is coming the other way. So just imagine it like this. You're standing still, a guy is being aggressive to your face, shouting and screaming, and you hit him. Okay, he's in your face, he's in your personal space, and it's very similar to this. You'd have to argue in a court that it was, you interpreted an action that was going to happen against you, but you don't always have to reply to being hit.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Go back over to the front entrance.
No, I can go where I want.
We've got people in
Do
here,
you?
and they've got their own private business that
Okay,
they're
well, you
talking
deal with that then.
to our
I'm
claimants
not.
about.
I'm not dealing with that.
That's
I'm not
nice.
here for anyone else. I'm here for Job Centre Plus.
Have you got an appointment?
Do I need an appointment to be here?
Obviously.
Why
That's the
do I-
whole point of us being open.
Is it?
To try and help people.
Okay.
So have you got an appointment?
No, I don't have an
You
appointment.
don't have an appointment. Okay. So you don't really have any business.
I do have business here. I'm conducting that business. Clearly conducting that business. Anyway, where was I? Filming this lady. Okay, bro. Listen. You'll have a lawsuit. And then you just barged into me.
I did not barge into you.
Okay? You touched me.
did not
Unwanted touching, no matter what, is an assault. Do you fancy me or something? Do you keep wanting to get close to me? I'm not that way inclined, unfortunately. So yeah, what tends to happen is when people say they don't want filmed, that tends to lead to me filming them. Certainly when I'm a public servant, working in the public sector, in a public building.
Paying taxes as well.
Oh, of course, like everyone else.
That's right.
Of course, I'm not denying that for 1 second.
Well, you did make a point of telling me that he's a public taxpayer that pays my wages.
Well, it is though. That is a fact. That is a
I'm not
fact.
stupid, but I just wanted to point out that I actually pay taxes as well.
Okay, and I've not denied that. Okay, but the public want to see how their taxes are being spent.
Okay, so it's gonna go backwards and forwards, but it's never going to end anywhere. And of course, in the end, of course, the Laughing
What do you
Auditor
want to say?
decides to leave. So we're going to stop it there, guys. I don't know what you think about the interaction with there. There's some really good security in here. Lots of people leaving them alone. They're just keeping an eye, which they're entitled to do. A couple of wrong things going on, but altogether, mostly they behaved in an appropriate way. So kind of this one may be a bit boring. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me again today. Thank you very much to the Laughing Auditor for actually doing the original video. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and why not share. Cheers, guys. See you soon.